for this particular instance, for the death, for the assassination of Cyrus Jirongo, I was very categorical. Targeted sanctions on William Ruto, his family, and his inner circle. Now I am telling you, you watch this space. Something is going to happen very soon. Now, even if they don't sanction Ruto, they will send a signal that they are on his doorstep. All of this shit that you're seeing about Minnesota, it could not be happening. It's signaling that the what we call Somali oligarchs, somebody is closing in on them. Somebody is closing in on them. It's not business as usual. Now, if you are a Somali oligarch, read the writing on the walls. Start, rationalizing your finances. Start doing X, Y, and Z, cleaning up your books, X, Y, and Z. Because the hit that it is, I have not seen this kind of hit in a long while. Now, when you are hearing that FBI wants to follow the trail to Kenya, to follow up on the laundering of that money from Minnesota and whatnot, you think they are just coming here because of real estate. No, because this money is tied to Al-Shabaab. It's tied to ISIS. So don't just read headlines for face value. Understand there is a bigger game here. So Trump, he said, I won't be dealing with this Al-Shabaab issue that we are giving Kenya money to build an air base in Manda Bay, a drone base in Garissa. Why are we doing all that nonsense while we can just go for the source? The source of this Al-Shabaab finances, illicit money, is coming from Minnesota. If we are talking about $1 billion, that's 130 billion Kenya shillings. That's a lot of money. If you're saying that money kuna benye inafikia hadi the Al-Shabaab in the grassroots there. Now these guys have already done all their whatever the analysis. They have seen higher. Oh, this is how. So they are not coming at Kenya to look at real estate and to look at the buildings and to do an audit. No. Then they are following the money for the terrorism. And this is unprecedented. What Akina Uhuru and Ruto have always done is you stage one terrorist attack, and then you go to White House, and then they listen to you, and then they allocate money. And it's business as usual. Now Trump himself has said, whatever you may want to think of his close ties to Ruto, that's rubbish. He said it in a US base and said, our money as Americans is not going to fund countries like Kenya and Somalia. He said it in September. That's 3 months ago. Sasa, these are unprecedented happenings. Now, if that is happening, why would you imagine that there is an impossibility that Ruto cannot be sanctioned, that his family cannot be sanctioned? He's in a circle. It will happen very soon. It will happen, my friend. Because, we cannot be living like this. That all the time we are just looking over our shoulders. Utauliwa leo. Kesho nani anauliwa. Every day these days you hear somebody has died. You don't even first suspect that it's an accident, that it's a what, at the domestic violence. No, your first instinct is that this guy has been killed by the government. We cannot live in a suspended state of anxiety like this. Every Christmas we cannot even enjoy in peace. Last year it was akina Kibet Bull wako abducted. This year ndio huyo Jirongo ameuliwa. Because huyu mtu atakangi kuona watu wamefurahi. He derives narcissistic, childish, juvenile pleasure from seeing Kenyans angry. They sit at a table with David Ndii and Mutainguni, and then they think, how do we trigger Kenyans? How do we gaslight them? Now, as we're saying, this will not be our daily life This will not be our reality. If other people have accepted that fate, condemned themselves to that future, well and good. That's your shit. Me, I've said, I'm not living like this. Now, in my own little power, I will use my social media activism. I will tag everyone in the American establishment who is important and draw their attention to that. Despite several warnings that the US has given to, or has handed to Ruto, the guy is still continuing, he's showing them the middle finger. And this is Ruto. Ruto doesn't care. He always wants to push the envelope. Up until we protested in June 2024, days earlier, they were still talking trash. Akina Kimani Jirongo, akina nani. Now that the elections are closing in, do you see akina Jirongo talking? They know the stakes. Do you see them talking all the trash they used to talk? Dindinyoro now has become a Latter-day Saint. All of a sudden now, Amekuwa sasa now he's the one who is telling us about debt and who hey. They think we are stupid, these guys. I have my own platforms and reach 1 million people in a day or in an hour. So, tell people the first thing you do once you get little clout is you want to sell out. You don't even want to see where. Since when? Businesses sometimes take years before they break even, let alone make a profit. You get in today, within 6 months, you're selling out to the regime. You will flow utazimia. Tazimia. Instead of people just waiting it out, let's see where this thing will take us. Let's see where this journey will take us. Hey, umeitwa mkutano uende sijui Matiang'i akupatie 8,000 per week. Nonsense. 8,000 per week, man. Let's take a lot of crap, man. Now you're dealing with akina Uhuru, akina Mohoho. Those guys, they are entrenched contempt for young people. You had Mohoho when he was talking at Cyrus Jirongo's Requiem Mass, that he saw the trending news that Jirongo has died, and then he started speculating, there's a lot of fake news, so I telephoned Morave. Imagine, without any honor or shame, you're in front of a church, distinguished people, you're saying that you lack the tools of discernment to distinguish between noise and facts, that you now resorted to calling a coronapreneur retiree who is based in Kilifi, that's the one who is going to confirm to you this news. It shows you just how incapable that guy is surrounded. But to be a good CEO, what you do is you get smart people. Did you see the young people who have surrounded Elon Musk when he was working at Doge? The people who are doing the codes, the people who did everything, they rationalized the finances of the US. Did you see young guys in their 20s? Moho he can never be the wealthiest person because their money is stolen. So first of all, they're just looking like this. Who you attend kufanya nini. So by the time you're getting there, you have to go through shit that is called trust rituals. That's why they only employ people who children who used to work with the father. Like now the guy who killed J.M. Karaoke, he was called Gaitho. Was the police commissioner at the time, if I'm not wrong, or the head of whatever. The guy who killed J.M. Karaoke was called Gaitho. His sons work in Brookside, where they were classmates with Mohoho. That's the employment criteria there. Because they've stolen, now they need people who can also reinforce that discretion. So merit kwa mutaro. That's why he can see a story which is trending, a story which is very important, but then he has to first call a retiree. Because that's how he's been raised by the mother. The mother, she just stumbled on money. She got a few managers here and there. But that's how they run a multi-billion conglomerate. That's how it's run, by in a very pedestrian operation.